We are at the final weekend of SIFF, and of course, as usual, from last year, I am talking to the star and the director of the big gay film, as in gala, what they call it here, and we are joined by the director of August, and his name is Eldar Rappaport, as well as the star, Murray Bartlett. Thanks for joining us today. Last night was the big gala, and you had mentioned something really funny, that when you got the email, you thought it was Gay LA.
Yes.
Tell me that story.
Yeah, I got, Beth sent me an email, subject line, good news, and then I read it. I was traveling at the time, actually, so I read it the next morning, and it read, we're going to make August a big gala event, and I thought, gala, and I read it as Gay LA, and this is a gay movie taking place in LA, and I thought every year they make a movie about gays in Los Angeles, and that's kind of bizarre. But that email followed by a quick email from my agent, who I suspect thought I would think that, and said, just to clarify, this is Gay La, as in gala. Get it? Get it? It's great. Great, thank you. So that was a little funny anecdote.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I've talked to you. In the world of soaps, you were known as the Don Juan of Guiding Lights.
Really?
Okay, so how did you go from being the Don Juan of soaps to portraying gay in this movie?
I never thought of it that way, but
you were pretty much with every woman on the show.
Right? Oh, right, I see what you mean.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I mean, I think it's, you know, in the context of that, I think it's kind of a nice contrast, you know, and you're always, as an actor, looking for interesting opportunities and to not get put in a specific kind of box. So it's, you know, it's kind of nice to kind of, you know, mix it up a bit and have some interesting different roles. But also, I worked with Eldar on a short film, Postmortem, which was like a springboard for August before I worked on Guiding Lights. So you know, I was looking forwards, I suppose, hoping that August would happen even before Guiding Light happened. So,
oh wow!
Yeah.
So.
And I had to wait because he had a contract with them, and so thank God it was canceled.
So when you were talking about how you know, you had to wait for you to be able to get this to a point, so it makes sense that he couldn't really do it with him being on.
Yeah, because he was on a shooting schedule. He had a contract for them first, so you know it's so volatile in like how to make the film, how to get it all done. So we're never sure. But once the you know, when the show was canceled, he became available, and he just shot another movie, and then he's like, I really want to do this, and he called me. I'm like, yeah, all right, let's do this now. So it was
sounds to me that the timing was very
timing.
Great.
It's all about timing and synchronicity.
Yeah.
This was the movie.
So tell me a little bit about the process of how you go from the short film to the feature.
It was interesting, actually, because I had never intended this to be a feature. I don't know if you've seen Postmortem, but it was playing as an anecdote of two people meeting again in life and what happens afterwards. It was never really, I never thought of creating a big feature film out of this. However, it did so well, and it traveled so well in the world, in the sense that people could really relate to being on either side of the fence. Everybody has some X story, whether straight or gay, and people wanted, you know, a feature film. And I think I talked to a bunch of producers and agents, and everybody said, well, that would be, obviously all of us want to make a feature film, so that was the natural step to take this, because it was so successful, and kind of start developing this. I had met Brian Sloan, who's a writer-director in New York, and a playwright and a photographer. It was just one of those beings that could do everything. He saw Postmortem at the time, and he loved it, and he said, okay. And I approached him. I said, you know, let's start developing it into a feature. And we spent a few years developing it until we got, you know, people tell you you need to write at least 40 versions of the script before you show it to people. So we probably did 41, and then we had the feature script. Then we started talking about it, and I had many companies interested, and they fell through. And then finally I did a short film a couple of years ago called Steam, which was very successful again, and it won some awards. And then people started thinking, oh, okay, maybe we can give him money. And then all of a sudden, the show was canceled. So all of a sudden, everything came together, and then we decided to push through. But it was, you know, it was kind of a process. And then, you know, obviously the film was with 2 characters, a short film. We added more characters in the feature, so I learned a lot how to develop the characters, how to add, how to take away, and to bring it to where it was last night.
Absolutely. And was the character of Raoul, was he in the first one? Or?
For a split second, yes.
For a split second,
so it was mostly about Troy
Okay.
and Jonathan, and then we had to reinvent Raoul or to beef him up to be a big character.
So that was the character that really was brought more
Yes.
expansion into that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which was interesting because I found myself having the most freedom with him because he was just fresh. I kind of, you know, I had them in my mind so many years, and then I got to know them as people that I kind of, you know, I tailored. I always saw them, and then Raoul I didn't know until I cast. So it just provided more flexibility. It was interesting.
Wonderful, wonderful. And for you, in this one scene of where you actually shave your hair, you're get into a buzz cut. When he, or you saw that in the script or whatever, what was your reaction to that?
I was excited. Great. Yeah, no, it didn't faze me at all. I love buzzing my head, so. No, it didn't faze me at all, really. I mean, I the only thing that I thought is, you know, as an actor, you're always thinking you want to be versatile and available for jobs. So, but it's also good to, you know, change it up. So I was really excited. Woohoo! And I got to do it on screen as well. So it's those kind of experiences. I mean, you get to do those kinds of things when you're an actor. You know, you got to embrace those things.
So in regards to that, and then also there was another scene. Was that all done in one take or several takes, or?
No, well, it's one take. Obviously, you have one shot at this.
Yeah.
But we did slowly, so you know,
But no
he
pressure.
does this, no pressure. Just do it right, Murray. Just do it right. No pressure. You do this, and then you stop. Okay, do we have it? Okay, so basically, he just did it very slow, so you know, James could just go and kind of like cover it in every single angle. So, but you know, it's just one shot. You can't go back.
Excellent, perfect. All right, and so. Do you see there being a potential for a sequel?
September?
Yeah, there you go. September.
I don't know. I mean, potentially. I mean, one of the things that actually intrigued me the most was his relationship with his brother. Mm-hmm. I think Bernard Forcher is a tremendous actor. Sings with the baby, and they hit it off so well as far as the two characters, and the energy was so amazing that. You know, it just intrigued me. So maybe I am exploring that. You know, it will take some time because I'm working on some other projects right now, and also Hillary that everybody loved, and when she wants a sequel. All September she wants to be in it. So potentially, I don't know. I've lived with this project now with the short 8-9 years, and I think I need to release myself a little bit and move on. So, but I don't know. I think everything's open. I don't know.
But yeah, it sounds to me that you know, it could. Because I noticed in one scene they were watching a clip from Slutty Summer, and we had Jesse here last year and Casper for their movie Violet Tendencies.
Yes.
And so, which was they didn't call it a sequel; they called it a spin-off.
Oh, there you go.
You know, it's like Four-Letter Word was a spin-off of Slutty Summer, and then Violet Tendencies was a spin-off of Four-Letter Word.
Yeah.
Of where it takes characters and actually builds onto more characters, which sounds like you have potential for.
Yeah. That's probably the right way to put
potential.
it. Yeah, spin-off
Absolutely.
potential.
Yeah, it's like when I asked Jesse about would you call that a sequel? And they said no, he calls it more of a spin-off.
Yeah. I think so, because I don't know what we can explore more with that sort of relationship between the two of them. So maybe we need to move forward and see what's next, unless we shoot something in Madrid, which is possible.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
Now, that was my next question. Is in this one scene, you were talking in Spanish. Did you know Spanish prior?
No, I didn't. So I have a Spanish friend in New York who he was born and raised in Spain, lives in New York now. So I got him to help me out and basically recorded him and listened to him and familiarized myself that way. But yeah, it was a bit of a challenge. But
you did well.
I hope so. It was a good challenge. It's like the shaving the head thing. You see those things in a script, and you're like, it's something that's exciting. So, yeah.
What was more challenging, learning the Spanish or going from the Australian accent to the American accent?
I think learning the Spanish. Unfortunately, I've been wanting to learn Spanish for years, and I've never put the time aside to do it. But yeah. The American accent is something that I have to work with a lot because I'm here and most of the roles I go for are American, so it's something that I'm more familiar with. So yeah, the Spanish was a good new challenge.
Wonderful. Now, what do you see yourself doing next?
Doing great roles in film. That's what I'd love to do. But so I'm working on that. But I'm also starting to work in a producing role. The last few years, I've been really wanting to play a bigger role in the creative organizational process, I guess. So I produced this 15-minute film in Egypt last year, and which was a great experience, and we're in the final throes of cutting that together now. And then we're gonna go back, and it was an amazing experience there, and we just saw the potential for making a great feature film there, and there's so many stories to tell, and we've found a really great story that we want to tell as a feature. So and I'm very involved in the writing process. It's more like a script editor. So yeah, that's where I'm heading. But I love working as an actor in film, so and television. But I especially love film.
Do you see yourself ever going back to soaps?
I had a great time on Guiding Light. It was 2 years, and I feel like that was enough. But I mean, never say never.
Absolutely.
I'm open to whatever great opportunities come.
Absolutely.
But yeah, at this point, I don't see that. But we'll see.
Well, like I said, there's only like 4 left starting next year, and unfortunately,
it's a diminishing species.
Absolutely. So, but the ones that are there, they're also going a little bit more broader and starting to create a lot of more gay characters and so forth.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That might be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I'm open to what comes.
Yeah, actually, because they did. There was a character on General Hospital that they made gay because Ryan Carnes, who was in Eating Out, Part 1, even though he was no longer playing the role, they actually made his character gay.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like cool, and so where do you see the film going? Do you have a distributor? Do you?
The film is handled currently by the Film Collaborative, and they handle our sales and our film festival distribution for now. And so we'll see. We world premiere last night, and we have about 10 festivals already that are next.
Wonderful.
And then, we'll just see where it's going. Hopefully there's going to be a big buzz and a big positive reaction. Judging by last night, it was pretty good. So I'm hopeful that it will pick up, and we'll see what's going to go next.
Wonderful. Okay, that is it from, we're actually at a place in Seattle called Our View. capital R view, so I thought it was kind of interesting. But we thank Murray and Eldar to be with us, and once again, thanks for joining us for our SIFF coverage. This is MK Scott.